Well guys, welcome to Ring Slam Wrestling. This is this week's Ring Slam Wrestling video.
There's no worse wrestler than a filthy wrestler.
Let's talk about the Easter tour then, shall we? The tour kicked off with me being a challenger against the LDN champion Alan Lee Travis in what was an incredibly fast-paced, action-packed championship match. It was my return to the Fairfield Hall Croydon in about 10 years, and I couldn't think of any better and more explosive way to come back to Croydon than this particular contest. The crowd was sold out and it was absolutely electric. I think I'm getting younger and I'm not getting older, which seems really weird, but I felt like I was 19 years of age in the ring. However, as you can see there, Alan Lee Travis hit me with a dive across for the winner. I was unsuccessful in becoming the champion, but I've got to say I really enjoyed wrestling this match. I reminded the crowd I was the champion in 1996, and I'm not going to leave it too long until I get myself another championship match at the Fairfield Hall Croydon. For many years it's been fantastic to be a part of such a magical industry with such a fantastic and such a rich history. So many amazing people involved in professional wrestling. 2025 is hot. The British wrestling business is thriving. It is doing absolutely tremendous things, and it's great to be part of an international tour. In the here and now, it gives me a chance to check out the new talent. And I'll tell you now, there's a couple of guys that I'm really excited by that I think are blending into the wrestling business really good. First one on the list has to be a lad from Belfast called Stevie Fee. Absolutely fantastic and awesome talent. You might say, who does Stevie Fee remind you of? Well, Stevie Fee reminds me of me when I was 21, 22. And he behaves a little bit like me behind the scenes as well. But if you're a wrestling fan and you get a chance, you see him on a poster or anything, go and see him. Absolutely fantastic talent. Another one that I'm absolutely impressed by, it's not just his in-ring presence, but it's also the way he carries himself behind the scenes too, has got to be Jacob Haystacks Jr. Carrying one of the largest names in British wrestling history. All eyes aren't on this behemoth of a man just because of his sheer size and presence. They're on him because of his name. Jacob Haystacks Jr. has not disappointed any of the wrestling fans. Has a super hybrid wrestling style that consists of monster and an agile, talented wrestler. He is cementing himself in this era of British wrestling as a future all-time great, just like his grandfather. Anyway, what do you think?
We go easy.
Well, there you have it then. Believe it or not, I've been wrestling an awful lot lately. My time alive, 46 years of age, over 30 years in the business. One of the things that most excites me is checking out the new wrestling talent. Last week, over the Easter period, one thing I managed to do was check out the new wrestling talent. Silvano from Italy. He is so brave. What an excellent, fantastic grappler he is. One extreme wrestler to look out for in the future. La Greek Belgique, getting bigger by the size by the year. Good grappler, coming an awful long way. Great to have him on the team. We have Lorcan, a fiery young individual with plenty of heart. Sadly, he damaged his shoulder. He dislocated it halfway through the tour and was unable to complete the whole tour. However, we wish him a very speedy recovery and hope all the best for him and hope he gets back to in-ring action soon. My buddy from Canada, half Canadian, half Indian, the Bombay Destroyer. Absolutely fantastic guy, a talent that you want to see. I wish him all the best. I think he's going to be very successful in his wrestling career. Still very young. He's still got a lot to do. He's still got a lot to learn, but I think he's going to make it. Things have changed an awful lot in the wrestling business since the pandemic ended. One thing that's really changed for me that I noticed the much is we don't go back to the same venues like we used to. Before in wrestling, we used to be going back to the same venues every week. It would be like Chelmsford would be a monthly venue. Croydon would be a fortnightly venue. Hanley would be a fortnightly venue. There'll be a fortnightly venue in Bournemouth. There'll be a fortnightly venue in Weymouth. Weymouth would sometimes be weekly, and it'll be weekly for a long time. And there will be a lot of holiday parks as well that would be weekly. Well, ever since the pandemic and we went back on the road, that's not so much the case. However, when wrestling comes to town, it comes to town hot, and it means it's always sold out. We're there only once a year now, and when we're there once a year, the shows are shockingly good, which is a brilliant thing to see. One thing there'll always be live entertainment, and all I can do is thank each and every single person for coming out and supporting us and watching the shows. It's absolutely awesome. Well, that's me, Filthy Phil Powers. It's a wrap. Please subscribe to this channel, Ring Slam Wrestling. Check out these videos. I've been away a little bit lately. I haven't been making videos quite as regular because I've had so many commitments. I've been on the road, and it's not always easy to just make a video. It's not always easy to just come up with a narrative, but I'm going to be jumping back on it now. I've even rejoined Facebook. I'm even back on Facebook again now. I've been out of that for about 3-4 months, but it's good to be back on there, and it's good to see everyone being themselves and being positive. So it's a wrap. Hope you enjoyed the video, and subscribe to the channel.